Hello, everybody. This is Tucker Miller here again, and tonight, like I said, for my next movie review, I'm gonna be reviewing on B Movie. Came out in 2007. So the plot of this movie is we got this B named Bailey B. Benson, who is voiced by Jerry Seinfeld, and Bailey graduated from high school and he realized he's going to be stuck with the same job for the rest of his entire life, and he does not want that. Then he dreams of becoming a pollen job, and then and he wants to go outside the hive and then Bailey met this woman named Vanessa Bloom, who was voiced by Renee Zellweger, and she and even though Barry is not supposed to talk to her because that's a bee law, bees cannot talk to humans, and yeah, he was not supposed to talk to humans, but he did, and then Barry and Vanessa got along, and they got into a relationship, yeah, and then one day they went to the store, and then Barry realized that they were selling honey. People were selling honey for like eating, and then for products, and then and Barry got upset about it, and he wants to sue the companies for it, and then have all the honey to himself and for the other bees, and that's basically what the plot is. Now, what do I have to say about B Movie? I really like this movie. I really enjoyed it. This is another movie I grew up watching. That's why I used to watch this movie a lot as a kid. This is a great movie. Used to watch it all the time as a kid. I even rewatched it last night. So, yeah. This is a really good movie. Good movie. But I wouldn't say not as good as films like Shrek and all, but yeah, I still enjoy B Movie. It's a great movie. So, yeah. Now let's talk about the characters. Barry B. Benson, he's a great character. I like him. And I have to say, Jerry Seinfeld did a great job voicing him. And yes, I love the show Seinfeld. So, yeah. I'll probably review on Seinfeld some other time. But yeah, Jerry Seinfeld voices Barry, and yeah, and Jerry Seinfeld is a great actor and comedian. So yeah, Adam, who is this character? He's a great character, and Barry's parents, they're great characters, and Vanessa, who is this character? She's a great character, and I have to say, Renee Zellweger did a great job voicing her. And which we all know, Renee Zellweger was in another DreamWorks film, which that is Shark Tale, who she voiced Angie from that movie, which I already reviewed on Shark Tale. So yeah, and now here I am reviewing on B Movie. So yeah, and Ken, who is this character? Oh boy, Ken is a funny character. He's a hilarious character. and villain. And I have to say, Patrick Warburton did a great job voicing him, which we all know Patrick Warburton in his roles, such as Family, the show Family Guy, who he voiced Joe Swanson, which I like Family Guy. I like Family Guy. I might review on that show some other time. And he was in The Emperor's New Groove as Kronk, which I will review on that movie next year. And he was in another DreamWorks film, which is from 2014, and that is Mr. Peabody and Sherman, which I will review on that movie at some point. So, yeah. Patrick Warburton is a funny actor. So, yeah. And those are the characters I can think of on top of my head. And, yeah. And this movie does have great, like I said, this film has some great voice talent. Jerry Seinfeld as Bailey, Renee Zellweger as Vanessa, and we also Patrick Warburton as Ken, and we also got the lawyer, Mr. Montgomery, if I'm pronouncing his name right. Yeah. Montgomery, who is the lawyer, is voiced by John Goodman, which we all know him as Sully from Monsters Inc. and Monsters University, which I already reviewed on both of those films. So, when I reviewed on all the Pixar films leading out to Inside Out 2, and yeah, John Goodman is a great actor, and he was also in The Emperor's New Groove, which, like I said, I'll review on that movie next year. So, yeah, the lawyer, Mr. Montgomery, is voiced by John Goodman. And we also has another great voice talent, like Ray Liotta. He voices himself in this film. And which we all know Ray Liotta was in films such as Goodfellas. And yeah, it is sad that Ray Liotta passed away back in 2022. Yeah, that is sad. He was a good... Or, rest in peace. Yeah, rest in peace, Ray Liotta. He was a great actor. So, yeah. He voices himself. So, yeah, Ray Liotta had his own character in this film. He was in the court scene. And he has his, like, own honey blend. And yeah. And then also we got another great celebrity that got his own character, Larry King. He voices himself, but he is a bee. Larry King. And yeah. So yeah, Larry King had his own character. And yeah. And rest in peace, Larry King. So yeah. Larry King also passed away back in 2021, 1 year before Ray Liotta passed away. And yeah, it is sad that both Ray Liotta and Larry King passed away. And yeah. So yeah, like I said, this film has a great voice talent. Like I said, Jerry Seinfeld, Renee Zellweger, Patrick Warburton, John Goodman, Ray Liotta, and Larry King. And also, we also got Chris Rock, which we all know he voiced Marty off off of the Madagascar movies. And yeah, he voiced in this movie. Chris Rock voices the mosquito. So yeah, or is it dragonfly? But I think it is a mosquito. So yeah, yeah. So yeah, so yeah. Like I said, this movie has great voice talent, and yeah. Is there any other thing I can talk about this movie? Well, let's talk about some scenes. Oh boy, there are some hilarious scenes, but however, there are some jokes that weren't funny. But let's just get to some funny scenes. Or let's talk like I like the scene where Barry gets out of the hive, and yeah, that's a great scene where he was flying with the pollen jobs, and yeah, and like for wow was that's what he said, and then yeah, and then is there other scenes I can think of? Oh, the scene where Barry got into the car and they yell, "There's a bee in the car," and then yeah. That's another funny scene. And another funny scene I can talk about is, oh, the tennis scene was great and was funny, and oh yeah, the when Kenny yelled out, "Stop, B!" Repair the knee, these winter boots, and he yells them, and then and then yeah, and Vanessa told Ken that Bailey's wife is valued in his, and yeah, that was a funny scene. Oh, and another funny scene is, oh, when Vanessa and Bailey were like drinking coffee at a restaurant or so, the guy fell off the ladder. Oh god, that was funny. Yeah, a lot of funny scenes. And oh yeah, the scene where Barry was in the pool and he dreams of Vanessa, and they put the song "Sugar Sugar" or something like that. Sugar, oh honey, honey. That song. That was a great scene, and that was a funny scene, and then yeah. And another funny scene I could talk about is where where Kenny yells, "Why is yoga night so difficult?" Oh god. And another funny scene is at the court scene with Lady Yoda. Lady Yoda had an outburst, and it's funny. Barry's like, "This isn't a good fella. This is a bad fella." I guess that is like a reference to the 1990 film Goodfellas. And yeah, that was a funny scene. And was another scene I could talk about? I don't know. Oh, the fight in the bathroom with Ken and Barry were fighting in the bathroom. Oh god, that was hilarious. I would laugh every time I watched that scene where Ken attempts to flush Barry down the toilet, and then it was funny. Fiend. And is there another scene I could talk about? Oh, the scene with the pirate scene where Barry was trying to talk to the pirates, but they misunderstood him, and both of the pirate and co-pilot got unconscious, and oh boy, that was funny. I would laugh at that scene too. Yeah, like I said, this film has some hilarious scenes, but some jokes weren't funny. So yeah, this film does have its flaws. Like I said, the jokes weren't that funny. So yeah. And the ending song, Here Comes the Sun, that was a great song too. So yeah. So yeah. The ending is great. And it had a great song, which is Here Comes the Sun. And yeah. Really great film. So yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the animation is great, the story is great. Some had some funny jokes, but some jokes weren't funny. And yeah. And yeah, B Movie is a great film. I used to watch it constantly as a kid with my brother and my mom. But however, some people were not some people weren't some people were uncomfortable with this film. Well, it's probably because the fact that Bailey was dating Vanessa, which we all know Bailey's a bee and Vanessa's a human, and yeah, some people were not comfortable with that, with the premise and all. But despite that, I really enjoyed this film. Like I said, it's another childhood favorite of mine. But yeah. And I have to say, if you love Seinfeld, if you love if you love Seinfeld, this is definitely a movie for you. If you're a big fan of the show Seinfeld, which we are because Jerry Seinfeld voices Bailey. And yeah, really good movie. So yeah, I enjoyed B Movie. It is so funny. If you haven't seen it, I recommend it. You will laugh. You will definitely laugh at this film. Well, for the most part, because like I said, some of the jokes weren't funny. So, yeah. But for the most part, you will have a great time with this film if you haven't seen it. So, yeah. That's all I can say about B Movie. So, I'm gonna give B Movie an 8 out of 10. This film does have its flaws. But at least it's not a bad movie. It's still an enjoyable movie. Again, I have so much nostalgic for it too. So, yeah. So that's all I can that is it. That's all I can say about B Movie. So, yeah. And that is it for my movie review on B Movie. And stay tuned for my next movie review, which will be on Kung Fu Panda. But until then, see you in the next video. Bye.